Let's go over this. Let's go over this trade we took past the account, and I feel like I'm going over. I'm about to blow the microphone up. All right, so here was the trade. It was on an ES. We're on the 15 second, but on the 1 minute we took this trade. We waited for that 1 minute closure. Well, I won't even lie. I didn't wait for the 1 minute closure. I entered prematurely due to the fact that NQ was already below that prevailing. We were trading below. I was just waiting for ES to catch up and show me the signs of us moving down lower and following with what NQ was already doing. So NQ was already, trading below this low at 10:02. 10:03 open up, and then we started pushing lower. Look at ES though at 10:03. 10:03, what we opened up, we started pushing down lower. NQ was already below that. I was just waiting for ES to give us that confirmation. And this is crucial. Let me turn my music. Hold on. This is crucial. Reason for that is simply because, like, if ES doesn't make this inverse and NQ does, it can be a fake out. It can be a fake inverse. I've seen this happen when I was backtesting multiple times. But yeah, you just want to be waiting for extra little bit of confirmation, trading inversions, all that good stuff. But this trade, we only did have one contract. The stop loss was up here, 1%, 500, and the objective was right here. See, the market met it and then it pushed down lower, and then it came back up and then pushed down lower again. For this trade, I was on like the 15 second watching it. As soon as we had strong displacement below this low, I trailed my stops to break even just to be risk free on this trade. And then eventually, if you go back up to the 1 minute, we had this 1 minute inversion order block. I wanted to see, like the 50% of this, order block not get disrespected. I wanted to see that 50% just hold, really, honestly. That was my main dilemma. I needed to see that hold and then push price lower. And as you can see here on the 15 second, as soon as we were rebalancing back into that, order block, this down close candle, the market was starting to show rejection. We didn't reach the 50% though, but we started to show rejection, and then we pushed down lower, and then we met my objective. This was the break-even point, and again, once I met my break-even point, I wouldn't break even. Another area I was planning on targeting if I wasn't going to reach the profit objective, because I didn't know how much I needed. So, and yeah, I was really just trying to have that profit objective in mind. What's going to happen going forward. We're still going to trade the same. I'm still going to trade the same. Still going to trade my same model. Here, let's go over the higher time frame first before I start talking about that. 4 hour time frame. On the daily time frame, this is where my main bias of being bearish was. We had a bearish BPR, lows not being swept here, while NQ has swept them. So key low, 4 hour time frame. There was, I believe, some SMT here with YM. If I'm not too sure. Actually, maybe with NQ or YM, one of the two. You have to like fact check me on that one. And then again, bearish market structure. We pushed up, came down, pushed up, and then we pushed down lower. And another confluence was, the bearish order flow going into today. We had that 1 hour order block. Even though this was all bullish, I just still could see lower prices for sure. 30-minute time frame, not much. 15-minute time frame, 15-minute SIBI. We had no sweep of the highs. We did have some form of SMT here, I believe. If I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure, actually. Again, I'm not really too sure. I got to journal this trade. I've been celebrating all morning. In terms of celebration, what did I do? I was just basically listening to music, jamming out, really, and singing, singing a little bit loud. My lungs going out. But again, I can't be getting too, I wouldn't say happy. I can't be getting too like complacent. We got to know that the job isn't finished. We still got more work to do, and we're only halfway there. But again, that mental barrier of I've never passed an account is gone. We passed an account now. What did I do to pass this account? Everybody's going to be asking that. I'm going to make a video about that. I'll go over that, in that video on my main channel. On what I did, the steps I took. Now, really, it's going to be trying to get a payout and just taking good trades, trying to get a payout. Risk management wise, I really need to reflect upon it. So I'll probably meditate and think about it. What would be the best scenario for me going forward with risk, especially on a funded account? I've never traded a funded account. I'll probably decide to lower the size once more, like a live account, I guess, like a live account that I have, and try to build a buffer and get a fat payout from it, probably get the max payout if I could, if not, then just taking bread and butter and to the pie, and again, getting rid of those mental barriers of, I've never done this before, I've never gotten a payout, just getting a payout, getting it out the way, alleviating that mental barrier and, those limiting beliefs, and then boom, instilling new ones, like, oh, I've done this before, or I've seen this happen before, I've done this before, I've put myself in this situation, I've come out on top. That's the type of beliefs I want to have. But 30-second time frame, we did have this fair value gap. As soon as the market started to push down lower, break below these lows, I started to trail my stop right here, and then the market went down lower, and I just left it at where it was at, above these highs, and then eventually we met our objective. On the 5-second time frame, or yeah, let's go to the 5-second time frame. I was so close to my objective, I won't lie. I was getting edged right around here, and I was like, oh my goodness, bro. Like, y'all know that feeling where you're getting edged and like you want to just cut the position, and that's what I was getting at, you know. But then I was like, you know what, this has happened before. I've got an edge, and then the market reaches my objective, and then we, you know, continue lower or we reverse, you know. Either scenario, we start stalling around and then we meet it. Either way, you know, I was like, all right, we'll probably cut the position, you know. If like we start coming back up, start disrespecting these arrays, and we don't reach my objective, I'm still going to cut the position and, you know, maybe get like 300 400 out of the trade instead of getting that full 700. And I'll be cool with that, you know. I'll be cool with that. You know, this week we just need one more good trade, but boom, the market met my objective, and that was really it. So today we're up around $784.70. The balance is at 53,007. And if we go to the performance stats, total P&L 3K, trade win 70%, average loss, average win 1.84, daily win 100%, profit factor 4.29. Best day of total profit is going to be 29.25. That is crucial because, again, with this account, I didn't, you know, I wasn't trying to pass it in 2 days. I wasn't trying to pass it in, you know, a week. I told myself we're going to risk 1%. You know, of course, some days I would trade more than take one trade, but you know, if I was following the model, if I saw the model present itself more than one time and the first trade wasn't a win or it was a break even, I would like, all right, hold on, we can wait for something more clean. We can just, okay, the move hasn't really formed yet. You know, the market isn't really giving us what we want to see. It's just barely forming the real actual move. Let's wait, you know, especially on those high probability days, you will be able to find more than one setup if you have like a, you know, a fractal model, I guess. And yeah, at times I would take more than 2 trades. I would take like 3 or 4. I won't lie, but those were scalps, were like micro scalping, and I just don't recommend people doing that. Or I wouldn't recommend myself doing that. I just prefer catching like the daily range, or a piece of the pie actually of the daily range. I'm more of like a 1 minute type of trader. I'm not really trying to go to the 15-30 second time frame type of guy. But yeah, again, this was all one trade right here. So 3 trades that this day, 7 trades this day. Again, this trade probably like 4 trades if I'm being truly honest. Probably like 5 trades this day. Really bad. But again, we did come out on top. So we lost, we won, we lost, and then we won, we lost, then we won. Kept the big win. Break even, and then eventually I started like going back, you know, to like, all right, if I find a good setup one day, I'll take it. You know, one trade per day, one trade. This day was a little bit more difficult. I took 2 trades. NQ stopped us out with that 5-minute clean civvy, and then with the 1 minute inverse, everybody took that. And then this trade, again, one trade, then one trade. Again, 3 weeks to pass an account of just following my rules, being disciplined, and sticking to my model. That was the main thing I needed to do, was stick to my model, like nothing else. Again, I created the playbook, I created my journal, or I refined my journal. I understand what I'm looking for. I still need to refine it more, but going into 2026, since 2025 is about to come to an end, I just decided not to do that. And just like have the data we have right now and just leave it there, and then probably start messing with it probably towards like the end of December, start really messing and refining it, and then eventually create a new one for January, one that's close to my playbook. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. And then yeah, we created the playbook has been so much help, bro. I've been doing my ARR. If you want to join my Discord, I will be doing analysis there every day. Weekdays indices and forex, and then weekends probably crypto. But I may dabble into crypto every once in a while, you know, every other day. 2909 300, 52909 300, bro. This gotta be a joke, right? How come on here with this balance 999.62, on this one it says 53.007? I'm gonna just wait and see. Bro, what? Why is this? I guess it hasn't updated. I guess I'll update you guys later on the main channel, see if we do get this activated. But as of right now, I'm just going to walk away, call it a day. If it doesn't, then again tomorrow we just show up and let's do all time right here. Yeah, bro, the account is at 5300. I'm not tripping. Again, I reached my objective, bro. But I'll update you guys on the main channel, and stay updated for that. So yeah, peace. All right, so I got a little, I did a little digging. You can see the objective is there. We met the objective. I guess we have to just wait for them to give us that and then activate this account. Again, bro, good trades. Net P&L 3.83. Yeah, I'm up to you guys. I'm gonna go journal this trade that I took, probably add it to the playbook, go to the gym, come back, and then eventually make that video of passing my first combine on the main channel. So yeah, peace.